Hey, Jeff here. Welcome to NEBR, New England Beer Reviews. Not doing a beer today. I'm doing a mead. Have you seen those Bud Light ads where the guy says, Bud Light all around? And the guy says, well, I'd like an autumnal mead. And he says, one autumnal mead, and gets a little flustered at the end. This is an autumnal mead, and this is from Sap House Meadery of Center Ossipee, New Hampshire. This is their cranberry sage. Now, what is mead? Well, you can look it up on Google. I'll try to give you the 10-second version of it. I've had mead before. Yes, I have had mead before, so stop saying I haven't. But anyway, I've had mead before. It's not something I drink regularly, but mead is basically one of the oldest beverages, alcohol beverages in the world. And it's made primarily with honey, various fruits, various spices, sometimes vegetable. There's a fermentation period that runs a month and a half, something like that, depends on the meadery itself. This is one of several meaderies in New Hampshire. This is Sap House, as I mentioned, from Center Ossipee. There's also Moonlight Meadery in Londonderry, New Hampshire, and there is Ancient Fire, which is from Manchester, New Hampshire. I'm sure I'm missing some, but these are the ones that come to mind immediately. So this is a lot like a wine to some extent, the way it is presented in the bottle. It's got a wax and cork top, so you need to have, in this particular case, you need to have some kind of a corkscrew to get, at least in this particular one, to get it out of there. So I will try to pull a cork out. This is never my expertise, is pulling out a cork. So if this clips in the middle, that means it didn't come out immediately, and I was stopping the tape to make it come out. So there we go. Upside down, give it a pull out. All right, well, almost there. Like a good wine, you don't want the cork to get too, mixed in with the beverage itself. So while I'm doing this, the Sap House Meadery actually opened in 2011, though they have been in the works for a couple of years before that. All right, here we go. Out it goes. I probably did that wrong, but hey, I'm not much of a corkscrew kind of guy. I'm pouring this into a Moonlight Meadery glass, which I picked up during a tour of the meadery. Yes, I have been to a meadery. So you can see the waxy top, and I'll tell you, without even pouring into the glass, this is fermented with cranberries, and there are cranberries, cranberry delights here. So let's give it a pour. And you can see mead looks a bit like wine. Sometimes the color presents itself similar to the fruit that was fermented with, but this is also fermented with honey, as I mentioned, so it's going to have that kind of light amber look like honey would look. Fairly decent clarity on this. You can see the little honey drops kind of what I would call honey drops kind of going around. It's brewed. Oh, brewed. I keep saying the word brewed. It is fermented with wine yeast. Okay, how do you judge a mead? I'm so used to talking about beer. Well, I'm going to use the same methodology. And I am getting the cranberries. This is fermented with cranberries, so there's a nice honey sweetness. I mean, an obvious honey sweetness, and that fermented cranberry or just cranberry sensation going on. This is also, they use sage in this one, so you get that kind of bitter sage herbal character going on. And I love sage. I always put sage in my red meats. I got a nice sage plant in my herb garden. Okay, time to taste this. Soft, smooth, sweet, balanced with the fruitiness of the cranberries and the bitterness of the sage. This particular one is done with wildflower honey. But you definitely get that light, I'd say a lighter body, almost akin to wine, but sort of the slickness of the honey that's in this. Subtle though, very easy drinking, and these are the kind of, mead is the kind of thing, when I have it, I have to watch myself I do not know what the alcohol level on this is, but it is higher than your typical beer. But I'll tell you, it's easy to drink this, and a lot of it, if you're not careful. It's kind of like drinking wine. You might sip it, enjoy it with your meal, enjoy it with your dinner, enjoy it with your lunch. But this one's got this real vibrancy to it. As I said, I'm getting the honey sweetness, and I'm getting the cranberry juiciness, and I'm getting this sage bitterness. So it's all thrown together in this nice balanced package. And there's this kind of lingering, warming sensation on the back of my throat as I swallow it. And I'm going to have to put those little corkscrews. I've got a little cork stopper, which I want to put on this because I don't want to drink the whole bottle. I could drink the whole bottle, but I don't want to drink the whole bottle. I want to savor this and enjoy it maybe with a meal later and so on. But Sap House Meadery, I've had some of their others before. I've never been to it. They have a mead pub at the meadery itself, but I've never been there directly. I think I caught them at a brewfest or something once, or somewhere where I got to taste a couple of samples of their offerings. So I have not had this one before, but I think I've had their traditional one and a couple of other meads that they offer at some tasting somewhere along the way within the last year or two. I mean, if you like wine, if you like the dryness of a wine, you can get some of that here. You like the cleaning out of a good, fruity wine or something. You get this cleansing, and warming sensation that's going on. Anyway, very nice. This is Sap House Meadery Cranberry Sage, and it's a delightful mead. You ought to try mead. Just so you know, I am a fan of mead, but mead price-wise, you're going to be paying kind of what you might pay for a good bottle of wine, because mead is, at least the ones I've tried, I've never really heard of a mass market meadery before. They may exist, I'm just not aware of them, but the meaderies where I've sampled are all local, and so you're talking about $20 for a bottle like this, just so you know, in between 15 to 20 bucks. So if you've not had a mead, it's worth trying once. I think you might be impressed. You might think to yourself, maybe I'll go to mead rather than wine. I don't know. Maybe you won't. Wine is a little lighter, and it's also easier to come by than mead is. Very nice, though. From the Sap House Meadery of New Hampshire, their Cranberry Sage. Thanks for watching, NEBR, and I'll catch you again another time.